There we go. Speechcraft is a blended learning program for those interested in building their communication and public speaking skills. And hosting a Speechcraft program is ideal to attract members to an existing club, to conduct a program in the community, train staff in a business or an organization, and begin forming a new club. In 4, 6, or 8 weeks of your series of Speechcraft, participants can learn basic Toastmasters skills like speaking, listening, and evaluating. In today's session, you will discover what Speechcraft is and how it will benefit your clubs, and members, how to plan and implement an effective Speechcraft program, and tips to attract guests, and how to convert participants into members. The key to your success is marketing. And our presenter today knows a few things about marketing, more than a few things. I will clarify that. You might remember her, and I hope you do, from the presentation that she delivered at our first district hybrid conference in April in District 119. Cheryl's college degree and her 45-year background is in graphic design, marketing, advertising, publishing, and printing. And Cheryl joined Toastmasters in, is this true, March 1987, 36 years ago? My goodness, Cheryl. She has since hosted several highly successful Speechcraft programs. I would expect nothing less from her. And in each series of Toastmasters, if you can believe it, she recruited 10 to 12 new club members. That is music to my ears. It warms my club growth director heart. Cheryl is passionate about this program. She served as District 5 Speechcraft Chair, coaching clubs throughout Southern California, my former home. She is a 17-time published author. Cheryl, her Solid Gold newsletter design book, written for Toastmasters, public relations directors, and VPPRs, has been a course book at the University of Ottawa. Cheryl is also the author of Heart of a Toastmaster, which published 135 true stories of members from around the globe. It received the Best Anthology from the International Book Awards. And with our session on attracting new members by hosting a club Speechcraft program, please give a very warm welcome to a distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor, accredited speaker, Cheryl Rausch.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. My goodness, welcome District 119 and our visiting districts as well. Wonderful to be able to share this information with you. And as you were coming into the waiting room, there was a survey that was waiting there, and you'll be able to take a little bit more survey for our 43 participants now on this session. So welcome, good day, wherever you are in the world. Yes, Emily, this is where I joined 36 years ago. Pat Johnson actually took this photo for me at the El Fandango Mexican restaurant in Old Town San Diego in California. And I stumbled through the doors that morning. I had been personally invited to attend this communication skills series. It was not called Speechcraft, by the way. And I knew that as a business owner that I needed these skills in order to run my business and support my employees much more effectively. So as I came through those doors, there was a fire crackling in the background. Yes, as Emily will remember, San Diego does get a little crisp sometimes in the mornings. And I did not really know what was going on. I just knew that I had found my tribe. I found my community, and there it was. I joined that day, not only for the Speechcraft program, but I have been an active member ever since. Maybe it was the applause. I don't know. But that's a whole nother story. But you never know what brings people into our Toastmasters experience. I can share with you that I'm a firm believer in Speechcraft as the #1 club recruiting and marketing tool to energize our clubs, start new clubs, and really bring in guests. So here's that survey. And if you did not take the survey before when you were here early, and thank you, if you would please light up the chat now with which numbers regarding Speechcraft. So for instance, #1, you have held a Speechcraft program, and it could have been in the legacy program or now with the digital bundle, either way. Number two, you've attended a Speechcraft program, so I could definitely vote for that one too. Number three, you want to host a Speechcraft program like our district director, Melvin. Thank you very much. Number four, that I and or my club will be hosting a Speechcraft program this year. All right, so I'm going to be looking at the chat here and let's see. Okay, good. All right, so a lot of number threes. All right. And there you go. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see. We have some threes, some fours, some threes, four. One. Thank you. Rowena, thank you. Number one, you're going to be in our panel. Thank you. All right. Tamara, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as Chris added to this, number 5, currently hosting a Speechcraft program. Thank you. I'll be adding it in the future here. Thank you. Brad Corbo, thank you. All right. Yes, yes, yes. And really good numbers here. Good numbers. Well, it's great that you're here then, because we're going to break this down, pull back the curtain. I'm going to make this as easy as possible. Our focus is going to be on the marketing side of things, although I'm going to be sprinkling some resources in here for you regarding coordinators and how everything is there for you, including step by step. All right, so please complete this statement in the chat. Marketing is ... Marketing is what? Go ahead, add your comments there. Let's see what you think. Marketing is what? Selling, work. Difficult. Could be. All right. Thanks, Carol. All right. Showing advantage of your program. Oh, good one, George. All right. Sell a product, service, spreading the news. Thank you. To get the customer to make a purchase. Thank you. Everything to get the word out. Thanks, Phyllis. You've attended my session before. All right. Awareness. Good. Rarely done in a meaningful way. Ooh. There you go. A skill I need to work on. All right. Ongoing relationships, spreading the word. Essential. Yes. Attracting customers to your product and building your products. Boy, these are great definitions. The driver to get business is making yourself known to the public and describe what you offer, promoting an event, knowledge, business, all of these really well done. Well, here's my definition as it relates to us, that marketing is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. Bingo. That's it. Mic drop. Yep. That we're the solution to their problem. So as you think back to why you originally joined Toastmasters, what were the problems, challenges, or issues that you had that made you walk through the door or attend a Zoom session or an open house that you had no idea anything about this organization? There was something that brought you through those doors or virtual doors, and that you're here today. There are other people then in our community, in our world, who are experiencing the same things, that you're not alone. And they need to know about our organization and how we can serve and support them. So when we take a look at our markets, and this is true for all organizations, by the way. So if you belong to other organizations and associations, this also translates. So we have 2 markets. The very first are internal markets. This would be anything that we promote to our current members, such as this particular poster for District 119. This is in-house. This is specific to our current members. So all of this and everything that we talked about in this session also translates to anything that you will promote inside of the organization. The second market is external. This is the main purpose for this session today. External is outside Toastmasters, people who know nothing about the organization, or they think that we meet in bars and that we learn how to make toast, which, yes, we do, but that's not what we put out to the world. So outside of Toastmasters to non-members, potential guests and members, that's where we're going to be focusing, as in designing, like this one for District 67, a Speechcraft flyer with interactive sessions to bring people into our current club meetings. So those are the 2 different types of markets. Well, let's break this down to meeting math, if you will. There are 15 meeting roles. That's a meeting with 3 speakers without people overlapping. That would be where the speaker doesn't evaluate their own speech and serves as their own counter and maybe grammarian. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So 15 of those plus 1 Zoom master, whether it's hybrid or virtual. Thank you to our Zoom masters today, Ellen and James. Thank you. So that means that for every one of our meetings, we need 16 people minimum present. That's to make the meeting work. Well, we also need some more people because then we have table topics participants. And I don't know about your club, but in my clubs, we don't call on any of our prepared speakers on the agenda for any of the other functionaries, and especially not table topics. They're very focused. They're in their zone. All right. So then plus we want to have 2 or more guests at each meeting in order to keep constant recruitment going on. And then we need audience because then we have more energy. We have more fun. And that also allows for 3 to 5 people to be absent per meeting. So we're looking at 25 to 30 people per meeting. All right. Catch your breath. Yes, this is the meeting math. Now, so if you're thinking, oh, but we have 10 people and everybody does fine, then you're not at charter strength, which is part of our mission is to uphold our clubs at charter strength. That number is 20, charter strength. That means people who have paid their dues and hopefully come to every meeting, or maybe, yes, they miss one a month if yours is a weekly club. We need to remain charter strength. So we need to get back on track. This was the original vision from Dr. Smedley when he created Toastmasters back in 1924. And over the years, then we've taken a look at what really makes a meeting work. So if you have 15 people for a regular meeting role, and then you have 5 more, now we're talking there could be more fun. And if your club is inside a corporation, so you have an ongoing program, Pat Johnson, who wrote the handbook about corporate training programs, 25 is suggested. All right, so the more members are going to be more fun, more creativity, more energy, engagement, feedback, more educational accomplishments, which everything that we want to do in Toastmasters is to serve the member, which means we need to find out what their goals are. Well, the bigger the audience, the better their skills develop faster because of the feedback and the confidence alone. Those are basic numbers. All right, catch your breath. Let's talk about determining your ideal participants. So wherever you are in the world or right here in New York, whether you're in Manhattan, south of 40th Street or Brooklyn or Queens or Long Island, then depending on who your ideal participants are, remember, I moved from Southern California to the southern tier of New York. Yeah, so pardon my accent. All right, so ideal Speechcraft participants could be who needs the skills this program offers. So think about this. Put some answers in the chat for me here. Who do you know who needs to have this program? What are their pains or their challenges? When would be a convenient time for them to attend? Because I sure hope it's during your regular club meeting. If you are using Speechcraft as a series, 4, 6, or 8 weeks, we also have one that we'll hear about that is 10 sessions today. So then when is a convenient time if you are bringing people in to boost your club membership, have it during your regular club meeting. There's other ways that you can have this, including community and high schools, other organizations and businesses. Where are they located as in geographically, and why would they attend? One more question, will they invest? Go ahead and take a screenshot of this one on your own computer. And then let me look at the chat here. So what are the answers? Yes, everyone needs it. That is very true. All right. All right. So some of you said you needed to slow down. Me too. I kind of hit warp 9. Sorry, live long and prosper. All right. So let's see. Okay, got it. Yep, needed to slow down. I also needed to learn how to breathe and lower my voice, by the way. And one of my fellow members in my club in San Diego, Voyagers Club, is also an accredited speaker. And he sat next to me one day and he could tell it was because I was wearing very high heels. I don't anymore. But anyway, the high heels shifted my diaphragm, which shifted my breathing, which high. It was pretty irritating. All right. So who needs this? Thank you, Carol. Small business owners. Yes. Entrepreneurs, meeting organizers, speakers. Oh my gosh. There are people who are paid big bucks who are horrible speakers. Sorry. Yes, I know them. Okay. Everyone needs the skills. Recent graduates looking for a job. Oh my gosh. Yes. And what about job interviewing skills? Table topics. Yes. Workers to get promoted. Thank you. Young people need to attend. Yes. And remember that our Speechcraft programs are eligible for 18 years and older to join the club. So if it's different than youth leadership, which can be younger, Speechcraft to join the club is 18. All right. So people who think they don't have the time to commit to a Toastmasters club, right? So they could attend a 4, 6, or 8-week session, find the value, and we'll talk about the tuition for this program too. And that's why I added the question, will they invest? Because no, this really shouldn't be free. And as Pat Johnson says, people need to have skin in the game. They need to invest or they don't value the experience. All right. So thank you. People need it to grow. Absolutely. All right. So ramp up the club. Absolutely. All of these are great. All right. So then on your handout, perhaps on the title page. So let's see, Zoom Masters, if you would please pop the handout into the chat box again for us. On the title page or someplace, if you have an extra sheet of paper, because I know I'm speaking faster than more paper than you have, is write down, who are you thinking of? So if you're thinking about in the community, exactly where? If you are thinking about small business owners and entrepreneurs, it could be that you host a program in conjunction for SCORE, the Senior Corps of Retired Executives. It could be for the SBA. Both of those are here in the States. I think they might be in Canada too, or that they are different acronyms. And we have people from Sweden here too, and Germany and the Philippines. So it might be under a different acronym name, or the SBA is the Small Business Administration, all of those. And then of course, our companion alliance with Rotary, because those are leaders in their communities and businesses. Some are retired, but they need to speak for fundraising and to support of their charity events. Any type of speakers bureaus for organizations. Today, we're going to hear about autism and the Speechcraft program that one of our members is hosting there. So think bigger, think outside of the community. So here there's a lot of questions. Well, what happens if we are hosting a program outside of a regular club meeting and in the community? It does not need to be held at the same time during your club meeting. You could host for them their own 4, 6, or 8-week session. And but a club has to host it. So be very clear. It is one member who serves as a Speechcraft coordinator, that it is the club who hosts it, and the coordinator is the one who receives the credit for it toward their distinguished Toastmaster. So even though it's outside of the Toastmaster meeting, yes, you can receive credit for it. So that just opens up all kinds of worlds. And again, where are they located, what's convenient for them. So if one of you has 6 clubs, so it could be that if they can't attend your particular club, you refer them to one of the other clubs that is also hosting a Speechcraft series. You might want to capture a screenshot of this for yourself, identify some of the needs. And I just off the top of my head created this checklist. And job interview skills, facilitating an online meeting. When the world came to a screeching halt and everything shifted in the pandemic to online sessions, we're on the cutting edge. We were the ones continuing to have our meetings, and we learned how to Zoom. We learned how to use Teams. We learned how to use many of our online platforms. We're cutting edge on that, and we still are today. So again, these are skills that other people need to learn and bring into the workplace. All right, so this page is not in the handout. And what I'll do is I'll queue up the answers to this, and then I'll let you know to take a screenshot. So according to the research by Dan Ogilvy, and if you were there at the April first ever hybrid meeting, remember we did the golden nuggets in the afternoon? Tamara, you remember that? All those Hershey's nuggets flying around the room. Yeah. So this is a recap from that, bringing it forward, because if we're talking about marketing Speechcraft or our club or our district or any association, personal product, service, business, anything across the board, there are 3 stages of marketing communication, and they must happen in this order or the marketing will not work. So those of you who are thinking, oh, marketing is difficult, let's break it down and keep it simple. Stage 1 of the 3 stages is relevance. The question that the reader's asking here is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it, click away? They need to know what's in it for me. And the time available in this stage is really brief. It's only 1 to 7 seconds. And they're looking for, does it relate to me, or can I toss it, recycle it, click away? Based on how well we have provided the relevance, which needs to be at the top of the advertisement. So if it's a poster on social media, or if it's a flyer, even in an email, they are looking for relevance, and they may not give you the full 7 seconds. Then stage 2 is confirmation. So here the reader's looking for, was I correct? Does it relate to me? And if it does, then we convert them from tossing it into reading. The time available now is longer. It's up to 90 seconds. This is when the bullet points are going to be vital, especially of those which are the benefits, which is answering the question to stage 1. What's in it for me? What am I going to get? Because it's no longer the investment. If the tuition for your Speechcraft is, say, $50, it's not the $50, which is generally the objection. It's the time or energy or driving traffic, or in New York right now, in New Jersey, flooding. How do I get to the meeting? The closest club to me here, and I'm in the country of New York, not in the city of New York, it is a 45-minute drive to my closest club. And it meets at night, which means driving at night on interstates where the deer, it could be a hazard. So then this is what we're competing against, really, is people's time and task management, not so much the investment. So they're looking for confirmation. Is this going to be worth it to me? How is this going to make my life personally or professionally better? Is it going to help me achieve my objectives? Is it going to help me better as a person? Now we move into stage 3, which is action, or the call to action. And hopefully our reader at this point is answering the question of, okay, it's relevant. I'm confirmed it. Even if they don't use those words, they're looking for, what do I do now? The time available for stage 3 is as long as needed. Go ahead and capture your screenshot from this now. And you want to keep this in mind for everything you design for your marketing, whether it be internal or external, for yourself or your club, your organization, your community, whatever it is that you are promoting. And they must occur in that order. So the biggest mistake that I see in marketing is it's all about the features, not the benefits. It's what it is. It's 4 weeks instead of the benefits. Gain confidence and practice. The biggest thing about Speechcraft is that it is practice-based. That's amazing, because it is. It's an interactive hybrid experience. So whether your club is in person or hybrid, people gain the skills because they are speaking every single week. They are doing something. They have a guide, which is a fellow member of the club who is helping. And the people who are the participants are called Speechcrafters. And so they each have a guide. They're going to be speaking. The members of the club serve as all the functionaries, as well as those guide mentors for everyone. And it is, and boy, a really inclusive experience where we can practice. So we need to do this. Everything about marketing, then, it has to be done in this order. So sell the benefits, not the features. Put the benefits in the bullet points, especially for relevance and confirmation. Ask questions in the headline that name their potential pain. You'll see some examples of that. And then the other big mistake is that the call to action is up at the top. Attend our open house. What's an open house and who are you? Because if but if your reader is thinking, why should I care? They're gone. It's tossed. They're clicked away. It needs to be almost a pattern interrupt to get their attention and bring them into what it is that we're talking about. So let's talk about the handout. So let's see, we have some more people who have joined. So again, Zoom Masters, if you want to go ahead and put the handout into the chat for me again, thank you. All right, so this handout I created primarily to be a resource for you that you look through when you have more time. I'm not going to read it. I also have more additional resources for you so that you have everything that you need to start planning. Really go back to your executive board inside the club and start planning to host a Speechcraft. All right, so here's a couple of things I will point out. First of all, there is a nominal fee that you do want to charge, which covers the digital materials and the club dues. So for instance, and down at the bottom, then you'll see that the Speechcraft digital bundle, item 8600, is $50. That includes 5 digital bundles, as in one packet, one portal access for each of your 5 Speechcrafters, those participants. The big question I get here is, well, do the members of the club also have to pay for the Speechcraft series? No, it's an added benefit of being a member of that club because they get to hear the educational presentations, which I'll show you where those are located, that you can download the curriculum for free, and that they get to benefit from that. They get to step up in leadership because they are serving as the guides or mentors for the Speechcrafters who come in. Great way to boost the club. So then you charge more than let's say, we'll charge at least $50 is what TI recommends. If you choose other prices, it might be that $20 goes to, let's see, the actual materials. Maybe there's $10 for something else. There's $20 for the new member fee. Basically, you want to charge enough that it includes 6 months dues so that after their 4, 6, or 8-week program, in programs that are hosted inside of your club, that they will easily see the value and experience the benefits of this experience inside the club. They already know the people that they will stay. And as Pat Johnson says, for the practice. Your tuition includes 6 months of weekly meetings, or if your club is meeting bi-weekly, of weekly meetings to practice these skills. Oh, it's included? Yes, it is. And bingo, you've converted them. All right, so nominal fee, you get to decide what it is. There is a brand new TI policy that indicates that whatever you charge for a Speechcraft participant, it may not be more than 1 year of dues. So US dollars, that's $120. So our dues just increased to $60 every 6 months, which is $10 a month, if you think about it that way. All right, so no more than 120. Most clubs, most participants, most tuitions are about $50 to $60. But again, there are other variables for you to consider. You know, if you're paying for your meeting room, then that might be $5 a participant. It might be you use this as a fundraiser for your club to boost your kitty, which yes, you may. However, again, the parameter is no more than $120 per Speechcrafter tuition, and that the club must use that for educational purposes, including purchasing more digital bundles. So another question that I'm often asked here is, what happens if you have more than 5 Speechcrafters interested? Great. The club purchases a second bundle. Now you can have 5 more. And what's recommended there is that for every 5 to 8 Speechcrafters, you have 1 coordinator. I would suggest for every 5, you have a coordinator, so that now 2 members or more in your club receive credit as being a Speechcraft coordinator toward their distinguished Toastmaster. Boom. This is how we help our members continue to achieve their goals and go for the gold. Go for the gold. All right. So again, maximum fee, $120. So also in your handout on page 3, this is a sample. This is me talking to you, and that you can actually copy some of this text. You can toss my PDF into a Word document and the OCR, so the character readers, may convert it, but I put it into a PDF so it's locked in. And this is in Toastmaster fonts. We're also going to tap on branding, because everything in Toastmasters that we do needs to follow our branding, as not to confuse the market. That means no club logos, no district logos, all of that. That's all in the brand. And we have a brand manual to follow. So this happens to be in our branding fonts, and always use the logo, either Toastmaster logo or the Toastmasters Speechcraft logo. And here's an example of those questions up at the top of this. Is an 8.5 by 11 flyer. Sorry, it's US paper size. So in A4, you would adjust it to be longer and slightly more narrow. All right. So want to be more confident when speaking in public or online. Chances are people are going to say, yes, I need that. Need to facilitate important meetings. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do. I would also need to handle difficult people in those meetings. Okay. And is it time to enhance your communication and leadership skills? Yes. All right. So those are the relevant questions in the 1 to 7 seconds area. Then a soft close, prompt, teaser, call to action, boost your confidence, which is what we're looking for, and career, that's what we're looking for, in 8 short weeks. Speechcraft. So here, this could say Speechcraft, an 8-week communication skills series. And then people can see. And if it's less than 8 weeks, then fine. Then everything in the Speechcraft coordinators manuals, which when you purchase the bundle, you have access to everything. Then you'll see all the agendas. How do you adjust for the meetings for 4 or 6 or the 8-week series? So there again, this is an example of a promotional flyer. So here's an actual Speechcraft flyer. And there it says an 8-week communication skills series with what the series schedule might be. Now, granted, because you can adjust any of those, I don't know about you, but when I'm signing up for something, I want to know, what am I getting? And what is my commitment? What are the expectations of this? I would want to know what topics are being covered. Now, granted, the new digital model also adjusts this slightly. And then keep in mind that the Speechcrafters are doing all level 1 pathways, so that when they join, it's a simple conversion. They receive credit for everything that they've done in your Speechcraft program. Thus, again, staying in the club for a place to practice. Is this brilliant? It's wonderful. We've needed that. So what do you do for those educational topics? Well, you use the Better Speaker series set. I'll show you a slide on that in just a second. So I've also added to your handout some frequently asked questions, as well as some additional items of support. So one thing I want to draw your attention to, let's see, and who pays for the digital bundle? Ideally, the club. If the club would purchase it through their payment systems in the online store, ideally. If not, whoever is going to be the Speechcraft coordinator or a different member of the club may purchase the digital bundle and then submit for reimbursement from the club. That works too. Whoever purchases a bundle does not necessarily need to be the Speechcraft coordinator. That can be determined later. Even the dates can be determined later. So there's things when you go into the Speechcraft portal called the Gateway, similar to Basecamp, that you do not need to fill in straight away, that you can come back and you can fill that information in. One of the things that I did being a marketeer is I registered officially for Toastmasters the hashtag of #Speechcraft. Here's a good way to use that. When you're going into, say, Facebook, you can use the hashtag Speechcraft and search to see what are other people doing. You can look to see what do their posters look like. And there's even resources for Toastmasters. It was originally created for PRMs, public relation managers, but anyone who does promotions can go into that Facebook group. It's Toastmaster related of how do you do things. Go into the Facebook group for the official Toastmaster members, and you can do a hashtag search on Speechcraft as well. So these are helpful frequently asked questions. Okay, we got that so far? Yes, we're doing well? Okay, all right. How do we enroll the Speechcrafters? So remember again that Speechcrafters are the affectionate name for the participants who are not yet members. All right, so your club members already receive everything during the series. All right, so you could host a special event. And feel free to capture a screenshot of this one. This is one that I designed for my club in San Diego. And I also pitched my executive board the idea of hosting a Speechcraft because our club and meeting at a hospital, and mostly there were nurses who were members of the club. And as I brought this forward to my club, we only had about 8, maybe 10 members at that time. And we had already adopted a charter from a club that died. And we might be really careful using terms like that in a hospital. And sure enough, one of the head nurses says, if we don't do something like this, our club will also die. Well, we did the EKG and we resuscitated it by having, oh, that was pretty good. You like that, James? All right. So we resuscitated the club and brought back the heartbeat of what Toastmasters is all about, because then we angled this special event for the people who are right there inside the hospital facilities, asking them those relevant questions about giving presentations, public speaking skills, communicating with others more effectively. So then I did this free seminar, and of course it helps to have food. And let's see, let me tell you some of the results of this. So it was in person to launch an in-person Speechcraft program, but this could also be done to launch a virtual or hybrid. Everything works. And the agreement that I made with my club was that, yes, I'll do this because I get paid well to do what I do, that I would donate this, but they needed to launch a Speechcraft program during the regular club meeting 2 weeks later. So then when I proposed this to my club, then I said, now, who needs credit toward their distinguished Toastmaster? One of the board members spoke up and said, well, it's the last thing that I need. Really? Nobody knew that. All right, so the club provided snacks. We promoted it in the building, company mailboxes. So again, here's an idea that you could host a Speechcraft series inside of an organization, a business, a building, inside your club meetings or not. All right, and then post it on the bulletin boards. The outcomes for this special event, 65 guests. And again, we were only 10 club members at that time. 14. So in this presentation, I gave lots of solid tips and kept planting seeds for, now I wouldn't be doing this today had it not been for gaining confidence and practicing in this Toastmaster club. And I had the members stand. You're sitting next to our cherished members. Ask them questions. Ask them, how do they apply what they've learned and practiced in the club, in their jobs? And they did. So we had networking time where there was quite a buzz. 14 people enrolled that night. Then after the start, 4 or 5 new guests also enrolled because of the 14 went back and they were saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to be taking this short series of public speaking. So the club results, 12 to 14 new members, and that member was able to earn his distinguished Toastmaster brought the club into president's distinguished status for the first time, possibly ever, since we had adopted their charter. All right, so here I get a lot of questions. What if we did an open house? Well, an open house is a term which people still relate to when a house is for sale. You come in and you get fresh cookies. And we can still do that inside of our club. But here's the interesting research on which converts more, a special event with a Speechcraft or an open house with or without a Speechcraft. The open house converts less, and the people do not stay because they're not realizing the whole practice factor. So for instance, you may get a few guests at your open house, call it a free event, a free seminar instead, and make sure there has to be follow-up on it. There has to be something else. Don't just have a special event, use it to leverage and to recruit more people into your club and re-energize your club members. So I'm a big fan of switching open house to a special event. That makes a tremendous difference in the conversion rate. And as Emily had said in the introduction, with every Speechcraft program that I've conducted and helped host, 10 to 14 new members for the club. I'm a firm believer that this program works. So here's an actual, go ahead and capture a screenshot of this one. This is one of my designs that using all TI branding, including the yellow gradient rays behind it. Everything is in Toastmaster colors, fonts, images across the board. This is what we used, and we distributed it that night to people inside of that special event. And then these also went throughout the facility. And again, really helping to boost the results. And for this, let's see, we charge $50 for the tuition, inclusive of all the training materials and weekly club meetings through. And it was the end of that dues period. That was kind of strategic. Yep, it was brilliant. There you go. Okay. All right. You have abundant resources for you. So Chatmasters, thank you for putting this link and loading up the chat box. So get ready to download those sources. If you don't have a chance to download, or if you're watching on your phone, then capture this link, and as it's posted into the chat box, go ahead and click on it so that in your browser, you will have this tab open and you can download most of these resources from the resource library on the TI site yourself. Okay, we're good. All right. So I'm going to skim these so that you can see what's available for you. Everything is outlined from the overview credit for Speechcraft, and I'll show you what these actual documents look like, including quick start guides. Again, all of these are inside of the library that you can download. YouTube, so Toastmasters has put several of these videos up onto YouTube. Here's a promotional video. You want to look at that just to get an idea of what you're considering here. Here's the content overview. It is 2 pages for the Speechcraft program. It shows you what topics, and again, this could go into what the schedule of the presentations are. And if you have less meetings than 8, then again, TI makes recommendations of what topics. But get this too, you can also customize and tailor what topics are going to be important to the people in your program. So you'll also see what Rowena did for Blue and Gold Club. All right, so educational materials. If you're thinking, well, all right, we need to have these educational sessions. Who are the speakers? Your club members, and that they can get credit for their pathways projects. Well, then where do they get the topics? Or by the way, you can also pull in outside speakers from your area, your division, from your district, from other districts. And if yours is a virtual or hybrid, you can bring people in from around the world to present topics for you that are related and valuable to the Speechcrafters, and that your club members would really appreciate too. So get this, the Better Speaker Series set is available for free as a download from the TI site. So it's item number 269, and all of these topics, you click to download it. It's downloaded as a zip file. So you unzip it and you will see each of these topics, or you can order, again, any of these are individual or collectively for free. All right, so what does that look like, and why would you be interested? Let's say that you do want to become a professional speaker, or that you want to become a better speaker, but don't have the curriculum to back it up. You can volunteer to be one of the presenters during your Speechcraft program, and the materials are provided for you. So both the curriculum guide as well as the actual PowerPoint slides for each of those programs, they're free. And this is what the curriculum looks like. It tells you what to do when. I always love presenting the From Speaker to Trainer module. It made me a better speaker and definitely a better trainer. These programs really help you do that. So now there's something in it for you, whether you decide to host a Speechcraft or to serve as a Speechcraft educational presenter. Then you also have the resources available for the quick start. All right, so then you have them for the Speechcraft coordinator. Again, one member must be in the club which is hosting the program. And this is how you earn credit for your Distinguished Toastmaster. So you have all kinds of resources available for you as a coordinator. And there's also a quick start guide for your participants. Everything is done. It is step by step. All right. Then also from the library, and this is going into the chat box. Thank you guys for keeping up with me. Yeah, thanks. Okay. All right. Then the overview of the pathways credit. Again, everything is right there for you. and a Speechcraft overview for the speech crafter. All right, so the coordinators get to see what the speech crafters look at. This is the gateway. This is where, and it looks just like the Basecamp, the Speechcraft portal, and they go through, and again, they know what's going to be coming up next and how they can receive credit for it. There's an incentive, by the way, for clubs which successfully complete their series. So Emily's going to tell you about that. All right, so getting started on Basecamp again, all of these videos, you can check this out before you even get started. All right, so all of those were TI official documents. This one I came across from Ann Golden, who is District 38's Speechcraft coordinator, as well as the Pathways coordinator. So she's in charge of those for both District 38. She created this valuable links page, and that's a Word document, which we are loading into the chat box. Thank you. And again, those are hot links. So you can click on any of those and go exactly to what those links are. And if you need to hop off early or at the end of the presentation, make sure in the chat box that you go to the bottom and you click those three little dots to save chat, because you are going to want to go back and all the links will be there. I don't know if all the documents save. I believe you need to save them individually. And if you are promoting to businesses, this could also be used for the small business owners and the entrepreneurs, by the way, but this is the sales brochure that TI has created for the businesses and their staff. You can pull text from this. You can actually use this particular flyer and tweak it for your own promotion. That's item number 8628. Again, items which are ready to use. So as we're talking about the marketing, let's take a quick look at branding. When we are, and this is a very important brand portal link, and the brand manual is also being placed into the chat box for you. You definitely want to download that for any promotions that you are doing. Now for Speechcraft, you either want to use the Toastmaster logo or the Toastmaster Speechcraft logo. Either one of those is acceptable, but make sure that any Speechcraft that you do host, inside or outside, especially externally, that you have the Toastmaster logo on it, and it could be the word mark as opposed to the globe. It must say on there, hosted by Toastmasters, and I would name your club. I would name your club. All right. Okay, so we have specific colors to use. The smallest one down there is called Happy Yellow. There's beautiful color psychology on this. All right, so we have our true maroon, our loyal blue. I would be careful using the cool gray, even though it's a cool gray, which does stimulate some mental clarity. Happy yellow is going to be one of the best colors that you can use, though, because the yellow stimulates intellectual response, makes people feel good, and moves them to action. So your two best colors to use here when you're marketing, if you only have two colors, but in Canva and everything else that you're using to design, you can use all of these. Make sure to use the true maroon and the happy yellow. The loyal blue is a cooling color. The true maroon inspires people to action, especially when you have that happy yellow on it. Those are the primary colors. So stick to our brand. You know, we are all in this together, and we paid a lot of money back in 2010 to have our brand refreshed. So please use it. Professional images, there's all kinds of photos that you can use there. Better yet, start taking photos of your club meetings and bring in, so maybe in your Zoom, in your gallery, that you actually pin some members when they're speaking, or that you have the gallery with them and pin. Use your own photos. Use photos of your own members. And here's why. In marketing, people want to imagine, do I see myself doing that? And if they see that, oh, this is you. Oh, I saw you. This is you. It's like, yes, it's keeping it real. Keeping it very authentic. So in this session, as we're going to get ready to introduce Emily again and come back and start talking to us about more and about incentives, and introduce our panel as well as Q&A. And I'll be jumping into the chat to look at any questions here. So in this, lively, very fast-paced session, you discovered what Speechcraft is and how it will benefit your clubs and members. You've also discovered how to plan and implement an effective Speechcraft program. It takes a village. Well, it takes your club, and it takes one particular coordinator with an idea to get this going. So you've also discovered tips to attract guests and how to convert them into new members. As you are planning ahead, plan 4 to 6 weeks ahead for the marketing. Plan ahead where your Speechcraft coordinator purchased the bundle 1 month in advance so that that person can become very familiar with everything that is available in the bundle and what will be expected. So here's questions for you. What groups or organizations do you know of that could be served by a Speechcraft program? And on your handout on the title page or the extra piece of paper, actually name them. What groups or organizations? The second question, who in your club can be of support? I would say everyone. But name specific people. And if you are VP of membership, VP of education, get together with your board and find out who is really close to earning their distinguished Toastmaster and approach that person to serve as coordinator. Who needs the credit for it? And then when could your club host a program inside the regular meeting schedule to boost your membership? If this is a purpose of your Speechcraft, is to boost and re-energize your members, host the program during your regular meetings. All right, so please capture a screenshot here. This is your main contact. Our club growth director for District 119 is Emily Sachs. Thank you. And there is her email address. We're also putting that into the chat box. So Emily, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take a look at the chat box here and go ahead and talk to us. Thank you, Madam Director.
Thank you very much. Round of applause for Cheryl. That was incredible. We should have time at the end for questions. And I want to make a special announcement. We talked about incentives and how to do this. You've learned how to do it, and we're going to give you an incentive why. If you are in District 119, I am pleased to announce that we will be reimbursing you the cost for one digital bundle this year, one per club, $50 value if you complete that session successfully. And Cheryl has defined successful as you are marking it in the Gateway portal as having been completed. So wonderful opportunity for those in District 119, $50 value, one per club. We are hoping that this will help grow your club. If not grow your club, it gets the word out about Toastmasters and it helps people learn how to be better speakers. And that's ultimately our goal, even if our clubs don't grow. So I want to call forth our panelists. We'll do it one at a time. I'm going to start with Rowena. Rowena, I think Cheryl, if she could give you the MVP award. You did this as if Cheryl had directed you how to walk through Speechcraft and introduce it. So Rowena, are you here? Is she
I'm here, yes.
unmuted? There you go. Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. Hi, Emily. Hi, Cheryl, and
Hi.
everyone.
So Rowena, we have some of the materials that you shared. I'm wondering if you can walk us through why you started this and where you started it, because you have a unique club. It's a corporate club, government club, in fact.
Yes, we are a corporate club at the DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, because we have so few members already. So we wanted to attract more members from the DEP. What we did was to we thought about holding an open house, but we thought it will not attract new members. So we wanted to try this. So we did it for the first time. We held a Speechcraft program and we offered it to our repeat guests that came for 2 or more meetings because they are familiar with Toastmasters. Maybe they needed a push to, because our problem is to convert those guests into members. We have no problem having guests. Our HR department always sends us guests. Well, advertises us, and they have the link, they have the meeting details. They go to us, but they don't become guests. So we held this, and on my initial email, which is this one, all the advertising that we did, just an email, and then 4 signed up. One, we offer our 5th speech crafter we offer to our new member. So out of those 4 potential members, we had 3 new members coming from the program. We held it in these dates, and we held it in 8 sessions. All those check marks are for the speeches that those speech crafters did, and that's how we did it. And these are
Excellent.
those are our pictures and the agenda. It is truly
And
very effective in attracting members, and we plan to hold one again in the future, right, Andrew? Yes. And
and so
Emily
you
helped.
had,
Yeah,
oh,
Emily
go
helped
ahead.
on that too, also. Because because we have a small club, we don't have guides actually, so we needed evaluators. I asked the district, our area club, our club coach, our club growth director to attend the meeting so that we can have a good resource for evaluation, general evaluations and speechcraft evaluation. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Rowena. And you had four participants, and 3 of them ended up joining your club. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Phenomenal. And as someone who was new to this program, how did you find the materials? Was it easy to follow?
It was easy to follow, but also I have some help from YouTube. There's because of the pandemic, there are lots of clubs who uploaded their full speechcraft program. So I will not mention that club, but it really helped me a lot to formulate the educational presentations and how does it, because I'm also a first timer. I don't have any training on this. So to learn how a club really did it, it gave me the confidence to, okay, I'll hold the educational presentation. I'll do this. This is what I'll need. So that club really helped.
Okay, great. Oh, that's good. And did you charge for this? Did you tell us?
Yes, we charged only $40, $10 to cover the speechcraft, and $20 to cover the new member fee if they will join us.
Okay. Oh, great. And does your company pay for club memberships
No,
or
they don't.
individuals?
They don't.
Okay, but you sweeten the deal by covering the application fee.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rowena. And
You're welcome.
we may come back to you with more questions.
Oh, no problem. Yes.
Excellent. Appreciate it. Our next panelist, Tamara Hoffman. Tamara, are you here?
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Tamara, you should be leading this. You've done this twice. This is your 2nd time doing Speechcraft, is that correct?
I did Speechcraft last year in an effort to become a distinguished Toastmaster. That was my goal in my home club. And then this year, Neurodiverse Leadership Toastmasters, a club I am currently in, is hosting their first one over the summer, and we started our 2nd one just this week.
Okay. And what is the purpose behind this? Is it club growth? Is it a different
It's a little
intention?
different. The Organization for Autism Research is trying to get a better understanding about amplifying autistic voices. The idea of what about individuals who have autism? Can they benefit from a Speechcraft 10-week series, having one-on-one mentorship? The sessions are an hour and a half long, and it's over a course of 10 weeks. Obviously, the credits that they can get are all the way up to 8 speeches they could give over the course of that 10-week program. And we do hope that it does convert some of those speech crafters into members. It's a little too early to tell. There are 3 individuals that I want to bring right into my club. They need to visit to see if it's the right fit for them. But I certainly saw in the 10-week experience their growth and their confidence change.
Great. And the participants who have been supporting this effort, did they come from a club? How have you Or have you needed
It's
extra
actually
support?
through the Organization for Autism Research. They're doing a study. So they're trying to recruit individuals so that they can do a test case. And, they ask us questions in advance and they ask us questions at the end to try and see if Speechcraft or things like Toastmasters can be a mechanism or a vehicle to help support individuals with autism.
Right, understood. But they're not running the
They're
Speechcraft
not. Judy,
sessions.
who is a member of Neurodiverse Leadership Toastmasters, is the Speechcraft coordinator, and she is
Okay.
a distinguished Toastmaster.
Okay, excellent. Wonderful. And is this translating well to a unique population that is?
Absolutely. I'm surprised each time how nervous someone can be. And within 10 minutes of a private one-on-one breakout room where we're on Zoom and I'm meeting this person for the first time, explaining to them what an icebreaker is like, and seeing 20 minutes later the growth that they've shown, having that first icebreaker moment. These things cannot be taught in a silo. They needed to see other examples. And within an hour and a half, someone who was uncertain about staying is pot committed for the journey of the 10-week program. And that is exactly why what Cheryl was talking about, give them a taste of what they can get them skin in the game, and then you will see their growth over the time that they're in.
Wonderful. And having done this in person and digitally, is the experience, is it equally effective?
It's different. I think Chris will probably speak to that as well. I think there is a significant value when you're creating an online experience with 28 individuals on the call this past Thursday evening, getting resources and experienced Toastmasters, experienced mentors to be able to come together at 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday evening for 10 weeks. I couldn't do that in person, but I can join and meet someone who's located in Canada, someone in California, and we can bring in educators for the educational program, special, key, really amazing resources. But that doesn't have the same impact. If you're an old school Toastmaster, that in-person experience of handshakes and those moments of applause, the in-person Speechcraft can really commit someone to that in-person Toastmasters experience as well.
That's a great point. Thank you very much, Tamara. Greatly appreciate this information. And let's go to our third panelist, Chris Palermo. Chris, are you here? Is Chris
Well, I unmuted
unmuted?
myself. Look at that. I feel so
There we go.
privileged. I didn't realize I didn't realize I had the power to do that. Okay, awesome.
You do.
Thought I
Thank
had to
you
wait for
very
James to do it, and James was just gonna keep me in limbo for a little while. So that's good.
much. Thank you, Chris, and welcome. And this was also a unique experience, and you are in the very early stages of the Speechcraft. Can you tell us a
One
little
meeting
bit
so far.
about it? Okay. Tell us why you did this. It's somewhat of a passion project for you.
Yeah, and I don't want to turn this into a political discussion, but my school district is fairly polarizing, let's call it that, and it developed a lot of attention over the past year from the New York State and other areas. A lot of the students were incredibly passionate about addressing the Board of Education with their concerns. And what I noticed was they'd get up there and they would do a bunch of hms and ahs and ums and such, and then they'd laugh because they were nervous. And I realized this makes them look insincere and potentially not to be taken seriously. And so I initially wanted to run a youth leadership program, but Toastmasters said you cannot do that online for privacy concerns.
Okay.
And I said, well, then I'm going to address the parents. So that's how this became about. I ended up going to the parents of those students, figuring that they will just, the trickle down effect, they'll still be able to teach their students something as well. That's the short end of it. So I kind of had the audience already in mind when I decided to launch this program.
So you had identified the actual individuals. You didn't have to
Yes.
advertise it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And you got the parent permission, and this is an in-person program? that you're
No,
running?
because we
It
do
is
have
digital.
people from all across Long Island that are participating. I'm actually very happy about the $50 break because we ended up with exactly 6 participants, which means that that it was $100 in digital bundles for one additional person to get the 50. So
Oh,
so it ended up being 6. We had 8 and then 2 dropped out right before we started, but after I purchased the bundles, so now it's 6 for 2 bundles. So this makes it a little better for my club to be able to get some money back. I only charged $20 a person because I wanted to. I didn't know about the limitations. I knew that these people would not go for an abundance of money, and I wanted to just ensure, no matter who we ended up with, that they would all that the investment from me would be covered by the number of participants we had. So even at 6, even if you didn't have the reimbursement, we'd still make 120 on the 6 of them, which would be 20 to go into the club's treasury.
okay.
Right. That's the
Now,
so it's all very
out of curiosity, Cheryl, if they have those 4 extra spots, are they able to do a future Speechcraft? Or is it?
I
you
don't
have
believe
to
so.
give them all?
I think it's per that particular time.
Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
seen anything in writing, but that would make sense. Now, they
Yeah.
could have been sold for other people, or that you could have your own club members so that you're utilizing it. I mean, that's a nice benefit. Basically, it's 5 for the 50 and that you need to do the work to utilize each one of them. But
up to 5 for 50, up to 5 for 50. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but right? Yeah.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And Chris, how much preparation did you do for this, or is it easy to understand?
Well,
from the
that's kind of
get-go?
interesting. I actually gave a speech about this at my club the other day. This particular session would have been extremely helpful a month ago for me, because what you will find is when you go to the Toastmasters website, and you saw it even when Cheryl put up the links, there's nothing tangible there. It talks about the benefits and the features, but doesn't tell you anything about how to operate Speechcraft. For example, I was able to access, someone in a Facebook group sent me his plan for youth leadership program. And really, one person could run that. One individual Toastmaster could run the whole thing. You cannot do that with Speechcraft. So after I already had my audience and my dates, and then I purchased the bundle, and I went, oh, I need guides. I need a timer. I need a general evaluator. I need speakers. And that caused me to scurry around, not with my club, because my club is all too busy. So I have no one in my club as a guide. I have other clubs. James, your own logistics manager, is one of my guides. So in that same area, because I explained to them, you'll be able to, I'm going to let you promote your own club as well. And these people, because they are across Long Island, they're not just in my little catchment area. Maybe they join another club, whatever the case is. So, but absolutely, there is I've kind of explained it to, like, I once cooked for my wife, and I looked at the recipe, and I bought all the ingredients, and it said prep time was 20 minutes, and then the cooking time was 2 hours. Like, okay, great. And I went and I made the marinade quickly, and then I looked, and the next thing it said was, take out your meat that's been marinating for the last 12 hours. And I went, why isn't that part of prep? Right? That's part of prepping. I need to know that time to be allocated. There's nothing like that for Speechcraft. It's like, hey, you'll make people better speakers. Awesome. But you don't know. You need much more information up front to know what you need to commit to. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was suggesting, is to purchase the coordinator's bundle, get that 1 month in advance so that you'll be able to know what's coming.
Right. I waited till I had people signed up. I didn't want to purchase until I knew I had enough people to run it. And then, now you're in it and you're like, oh, okay, I got to really get this going. So
That's very helpful to know. And I'm seeing Rowena and Tamara nodding at all the help that's needed.
Yes, I also don't know we will need speakers, we will need guides, we will need evaluators, those types. It's also not ready for me. So I need to hurry to prepare the Speechcraft sessions for that.
Cheryl, I got a question for you, and this was actually just posted in the chat. Is there a time frame that you're limited to? So the moment you purchase the bundle to the moment you implement it, is there a limited time frame? Say if you purchase it now and you cannot do it until March because of different commitments. Are you limited on time, or does it just have to be within that Toastmaster year?
No, it does not have a limit on it. And just don't put in the coordinator's pathway. Well, it's the portal gateway. Just don't put starting dates.
Right.
You can hold on to it until you're ready. Great
Okay.
question.
Forever,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Forever.
Yes.
But Chris, I will compliment you, did something brilliant. You have asked support from district leaders. So you are showing them Speechcraft. So it is actually helping a lot of people and spreading the gospel about Speechcraft. So in a moment of panic, you did something really smart.
If I may ask a question, Emily, and this is for everybody in the Zoom, and I think this would be a good question to ask. And this is for you too, Cheryl. For everybody who's on this Zoom, are you interested in hosting a Speechcraft? For one reason, just with the reactions, put a raise hand or just put a thumbs up. Because if you are interested with it, this might actually be beneficial to everybody.
And Chris, thank you so much. And to our panelists, thank you. We have a couple minutes left. I imagine there are a lot of questions. I will turn it over to Cheryl if you want to ask questions now.
Well, thank you. I think James has been fielding what the questions are. So James and Ellen, do you see other questions? Oh, here's one that comes in regarding conversion. Will the conversion to the new pathway structure impact the Speechcraft platform? I have not heard anything about if it would impact. I'm guessing it would not. All right. So the question, and thank you, Guinevere, is will the conversion to the new pathway structure impact the Speechcraft platform also? I don't think so. I have not heard that it would be affected. So thank you. Great question.
Roxanne, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Or she's saying, yes, she wants to conduct a Speechcraft. Is that what I saw? Did I see commitment? Is that what that is?
We are
That's what
currently
commitment
working.
looks like.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm currently working with 2 clubs to do a Speechcraft, one online and one in person. So we're right now trying to target our audiences. And I'm thinking about those that are looking for work through some of the agencies that send people out for interviews to work with interviews. How do you answer questions and how to answer questions coherently? So that is what our target is right now.
I love that it's specific. The whole key to marketing is to be a match, that the message is a match to the potential person, group, or whatever. This is a matchmaking. That's what it is. It's matchmaking. I think too, that when people come into your club, that they will get an idea of the personality of your club and that they'll want to be a part of that. That's part of our unity and our growth and our success, right, Mr. Director? So yes, I believe that it is. And if they're not able to attend your particular Speechcraft, refer them to another one. And that's why too, you want to stay in touch with Emily. Let her know what your proposed dates are. And if you have openings, because it could be that Emily, as the resource here, has a list of people who are looking for a Speechcraft program, which could also go onto the website, by the way, Mr. Director. So maybe there's an area where, yes, I'm interested in attending a Speechcraft program. Yes, I'm interested in conducting a Speechcraft program, and that you get some lists going and that you're able to make those matches. And then keep in touch with Emily too, so that when you complete your series, because she would have access and go into, it would be the district desk, the district dashboard, that you can find out who has completed that. And again, successful in my mind is that you have more new members, more energy, more people in your audience, more people being served through this Toastmaster experience that you and I have gained so much from. We're looking for questions. Go ahead.
I got Judith Ferber, your hand's raised. Go ahead, Joanne. Judith.
Hi, Judith.
Hello.
Nice background.
Thank you. I just want to make a comment. I did a Speechcraft last year when I was a club coach that had about 4 members or 3 members, and eventually we had 8 members. What was interesting talking about marketing, that the way we got those members is one of the Speechcrafter or somebody who was interested is a nurse in a hospital. So he got all those people in our Speechcraft who are nurses or they work in a hospital, and she convinced everyone that they need to learn how to speak to patients or whatever position they have in a hospital. So we actually did quite well. And there's one other thing we did, is we started, the program had to be done 4 weeks because the timing was very limited by the time, the dues were due. And they have, so we did the 4 weeks program, and it worked so well because by the time they had to pay their dues, they become part of the culture of our Toastmasters club. And we did it at the same time, and they automatically became a member by the time it was time to renew their membership. It was very successful, and it really worked well. So
Wonderful. Thank you. And congratulations on that. I think too, that as we start off, that we have a lot of enthusiasm for this. Sometimes we need to, like in my particular case, was to pitch to my club board the benefits of this. Because all it takes is one naysayer that says, oh, it'll never work. I've been here for 50 years. No, actually, that was one of the members in my club. So, and he turned out to be Hospital Volunteer of the Year. He was the one that did most of the recruiting for that Speechcraft that turned the clubs around, that, resuscitated our club. That naysayer became the best champion. You never know. But sometimes your club is thinking, oh, well, no, let's just have our regular meetings. Let's not do anything new. You need to show them the benefits. Show them the benefits. And if you have conducted a program yourself, please volunteer to help the coordinator. Please be part of their team. And you'll see that there are lighting up in the chats that Rowena is volunteering, thank you, to be an educational presenter for any club. She can help you online with that. And let's see, there's a question here. Is it possible to get a copy of the recording? Emily, I'm going to toss that back to you. Will that be an email that goes out as a follow-up, or, oh, you said that it'll be on the website?
I think we'll post it on the website. Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank
what
you.
Website? What website?
The
District 119.
No,
It will
I
probably
thought
be
I
posted.
belonged to District 119.
That's okay. You can still, all right, James, would you pop or Alan, would you pop the District Toastmaster link to the website into the chat? And again, before we adjourn, you are going to want to click those 3 little dots down in the bottom of the chat box where it says save chat. So click the 3 dots and then you get the indicator to. Thank you very much. Boy, and let's make sure to applaud our Zoom masters, Alan and James. Yes. You guys kept up with me. Oh my gosh, you're hired. So that was not easy. It was not easy. So thank you. Other questions? Okay. I see some great support lighting up the chat. And thank you. So we have the links. Go ahead and click on those links in for the District 119tm.org site. That's where the link to the recording will be. And let's see, for one more time, let's go ahead and put the handout into the chat box, just in case anyone arrived late and did not get a copy of that. What other questions do we have? We're at our time. We are at our time. As promised, we were going to adjourn.
Well,
right.
If there are no more questions, can I tell a little story about 2 minutes?
Actually, I think, Emily, I'm going to defer to you. You are chair of this session.
Sure. We can do that, and then we'll end the recording.
Go ahead. The boss says yes.
Okay. This is a true story of how I became a member, and this is very important when it comes to marketing. I was working at a company here in Gothenburg, Sweden, and I had never heard about Toastmasters in my life before. And I walked from one place to another at work, and there were 2 ladies standing there with tables with a lot of information about Toastmasters. like I said, I'd never heard about it before, but I was curious. I walked up and said, okay, public speaking, leadership, and so on. And one of the ladies came up to me and said, are you interested, or asked me, are you interested? And I, cocky as I was, or still am sometimes, I said, well, I have no trouble speaking in front of people. And most people who would hear that would probably say, okay, and leave me standing, right? No. She put her hand on my shoulder and said, great, join us and help us.
Mhm.
That one sentence plus one word got me started 20 years ago on September 3rd.
Amazing.
It's also a marketing thing. You just don't just give up on people who say they're not interested.
Yep, agreed. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Appreciate it. And to everyone here, thank you so much. This shows your commitment to growth, to growing yourselves as presenters and improving Toastmasters and growing how many people know about us. So cheers to you for coming today. Big thank you to Cheryl and to our volunteers. I thank you very much. And if you're in District 119, think about that incentive. We will reimburse you $50 for this. A great opportunity. So thank you all. We can end the recording and
Thank you.
there you go. Thank you.
Thank you again for your interest and for attending. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue to grow our family globally.